First Human Resources Forum. My name is Sam Kello. My surname is Blom. I'm the HR lead for BPESA. I'm based in Cape Town. If you don't mind just typing in the chat box your name, your surname, and then the role that you occupy and the company that you come from. So whether you are a talent acquisition, recruiter, MD of a company, and what company do you come from? As I've said, my name is Sam Kello. The name is Blom. I'm the HR lead for BPESA South Africa. I'm running the session together with my colleague, Renee. I'll just give her some time just to introduce herself, and then we'll just start with welcome and icebreakers before I hand over back to her. So thank you for joining. Your name, your surname, your role, because you do perform a particular role, and then the organization or the company that you come from, just as a means of an intro. Just gonna give people 3 to 4 minutes just to log in. So let's just do those chart entries. And then once we start, then I'll give over to Renee to introduce herself. Devashni, welcome. Jessica, welcome. Morekal, welcome, sir. Rose Broom, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Welcome. Ruby Modley, based in Cape Town and also Joburg, more likely to stay permanently in Cape Town. Ruby, you are welcome as well. Janine, welcome. Leanne from Agashia Placements, you're welcome. Anisha, you're one of the first people who was in the waiting room, Anisha. So a special welcome and thank you for joining us. Candice, from head of BEE, Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Special welcome to you as well. Just giving people a chance just to join. We had about 104 people booking the session. So far, 21 have joined. Let's give them some time just to log in. Some people are busy finishing calls. Hey, Beverly Dixon, special welcome, Sissy. Thank you for joining us. I know that most of us are in human resources, so you're always encouraged to put your camera so that we can see, but also if it's a bad hair day or it's one of those days due to load shedding, you don't want us to see your face, you're more than welcome not to show us who you are. But they always say HR people are very representative and present. Those of you who've just joined, we're just putting in the chat box our name, our surname, company, and also the roles that we are fulfilling in the companies that we work at. So if you just joined in, put in the chat box name, surname, your role, and then the company that you work at or the organization that you come from. Lovely background there, Devashni. Phakamisiwe Ngubane, you are the first person today to raise your hand. Just to warn you, we're not able to answer questions on load shedding, but you can go ahead. Phakamisiwe, is that a raised hand or has the computer done what it does its best, does things on its own?
Hello, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Good, thanks. Quickly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Mpomokola. I'm a human resource administrator at CSS. So the reason I raised my hand is that I wanted to advise that I'm going to be logging on my desktop, which I don't have a visibility for you to see who am I. I'm sitting here with by the name of Phakamisiwe Ngubane.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
But you're gonna use another device to log in.
Yes, I'm going to use another device to
No,
log
that's
in
good. No,
so that I
no,
can
thank
join.
you.
Perfect. All right, thank you so
Welcome,
much.
sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Sam from IGT, a special welcome. Suraya, special welcome from Blake and Associates all the way from KZN. Samantha from Newton, special welcome as well. Okay, it's exactly 10:05. I think we can start. Good morning, Sis Mandisa, Wamkelekile. Kaz, welcome. Thank you everyone for joining our first HR forum. As I've mentioned, my name is Sam Kelo. I'm the HR lead for BPESA. Our session today is around inclusive hiring. We've done nice intros as well. I'm going to give over to Renee just to introduce herself briefly, then give over to me before we start with an icebreaker for our friends in HR. Welcome, Kensley. Over to you, Renee.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Amkelo. I'm Renee Rademeier from Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator. I'm a client services manager based in Cape Town. I may have spoken to many of you on the call here, so looking forward to engaging a little later on. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thanks, Renee. And Renee's got some lovely information she will share with us once she starts with her session in terms of the users of the platform. But also she so graciously advises that there have been so many features updated in the system, and she will share that with us as well. And also she would like to answer some of the questions that you have. So as a start, tomorrow is public holiday in South Africa. So me and Renee and Naz are wondering, why did you join this session? Why didn't you take leave and not come to work today? So in the chat box, please let us know why did you join the session? So this is where you use clever learning words like, I would like to learn more. I would like to, and you know those normal generic learning words that we always use. Why did you register for this session? What are you looking for? Put your comments in the chat box, please. Those of you using cell phones, you will, yeah. Oh, wow. Thanks, Devashni. Okay. Other people, why did you join this session? What are you looking forward to? And you can put the normal, boring, generic terms like, I would like to learn a lot, even though we never clarify what is that word a lot is, you know? Aha. Updates on HR. Okay. Okay, Carl Egwor, that is neither year, so you want to learn more about the sector before you start employing people. Thank you for creating jobs before the election, Carl. Other people, why did you join this session? Okay, Rose, I hear that you're looking forward to learn about trends. Okay, Kaz, Alaship, there's an iPad that's entered the waiting room, not a human being. That's the beauty of artificial intelligence. An iPad has now joined this session, not a human being. And knowledge update, yes, Kim? Oh, wow, yes, Kathy. Thank you for joining us, Kathy. The platform also was created for graduates as well, so thank you. Yeah. We've got a graduate who's just joined us. Hopefully you still remember that song they sing in the graduation room, Gaudiamos. So Jessica, will give you some time now just to sing that song for us, Gaudiamos. Thank you for joining us. Mandisa is new, so she'd like to learn more and improve her knowledge in the sector. Anyone else? I think that's quite a variety. Renee, as I'm looking in the comments, no one is saying anything about the actual SA Youth platform, but I think it's covered in wanting to learn more. But nobody has said, I want to learn this future or this data, but I think it's covered in learn more, you know. Like Leanne says, learn best practice. So she's saying, hey, I want to learn more. Yeah, Kim, you're going to get a lot of humor in this session, but unfortunately, there's no Trevor Noah or there's no Chester missing. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for your comments, and I'm hoping that you'll also learn Sistumelo, Tabilo Bona, and thank you for joining us. Coming from logistics, you want to expand your business, whether it's a way bill or it's courier, it's line haul. So thank you for joining us. Aha, there's Kim. Kim wants to learn the updates in terms of SA Youth. So as BPESA Human Resources, we have two HR forums that are national. There's this one, and there's going to be another one in the second semester of 2024. There will also be regional ones, KZN, Gauteng, and Western Cape and Eastern Cape. The regional HR forums are aimed at dealing with issues that are unique to that particular region. And the regional sessions will be in-person sessions. So if we have a session in KZN in Durban, that will be in person and somebody will facilitate that particular session. The same if we have a session also in Johannesburg, that session will also be an in-person. We do have people who've joined the session who own their own businesses. Please state the name of your company and what is it that you do. Like you provide HR, you help with learnerships. And also if you can just put in your email address and your contact detail in the chat box. If you're joining this session, you own your own business, the name of your company, the services that you offer. Please be careful when you offer services. When you say HR services, that could mean a lot. By the way, employee well-being is part of HR, so is change management as well. So the name of your company, the services that you offer in a bullet point, and also either put in your email address or your cell phone number. We promise you we will not send you TikTok videos in your cell phone number, including you, Kathy. Okay. Giving you time now, our vendors, our critical partners for BPESA, the name of your company, the services that you provide, and then you can either put your email details and or your contact number. It's going to give you 2 minutes to do that so that the people who are joining from BPOs or from the industry, they might be needing your skills development services. They might be needing a placement from you, and then they can see and how to contact you as well. Only our vendors. You've got 1 minute, 29 seconds if you are a vendor. Thanks, Anissa. Any other vendors? Carl, Kathy, please put some info in terms of maybe even if it's a link on the graduate one, Kathy, how they can contact the SA Graduate Association.
Pardon, Samkel, I didn't get you there. What should I do?
No, we're asking people just to put details about their company, if they are vendors, and what services that they provide. So the name of the company and then what services do they provide if they have registered as a vendor to BPESA. Only Anissa has put it. I take it as though then Anissa, you're the only one who's offering a service who's joined this. We always want to be nice to our vendors. Aha.
Well, I wouldn't know if, because we registered as a new business. So a small to medium business. So I don't know if it makes me a vendor as well or not.
Depends the services that you offer. If you offer services in the sector or outside, maybe you want to share that. But also, if not, it's okay. So we always want to show care and also want to show visibility to people who provide services in the sector because they've paid money to join BPESA. So we want to market that. Thanks, Kaz. Colleagues, we've done the intro. We know who is who now. We know where we are based. Also, we know what services people that people do offer. Before I give over to Renee, then just to take us through the SA Youth platform, can you please tell me what do we mean by the term employer value proposition? What do we mean? You can either come off mute or you can type. What do we mean by the term employer value proposition? And if you've never heard this word before, it's okay. You can just write there. What do we mean by the word employer, not employee? Employer value proposition. You can either come off mute or you can put it in the chat box. When we use the word employer value proposition, what do we mean? And why is that important when it comes to recruitment? Leanne, Kez, Mandisa, Pakamisiwe, Mpo, what do we mean by the term employer value proposition? Thanks, Roz. Anyone wanting to try, you can either come off mute or you can put it in the chat box. What do we mean by the term employer value proposition? And why is that important when it comes to recruitment?
So isn't that the benefits that you offer your staff or your employees? And it's important because, well, besides attracting talent and keeping talent, it also creates a certain degree of psychological safety for them.
Perfect. Thanks, Beverly. Yeah. Well put. Other people, I want to read the comments in the chat box. If I'm missing anything, Naz, please let me know. Agree with you. Anissa agrees with you, Bev. The brand offering. Aha, Samantha. The brand offering of the employer, the benefits, as Beverly said, and Anisha, the culture, the full offering that attracts the employees to the business. Total value, including the benefits and all items offered to employee, e.g. the gym as well. Yeah, thank you. You've all said it so well. Simply put, employer value proposition is, why must I come and work for you? Employer value proposition, simply put, why must I join or why must I come and work for your organization? That's how it is. And that data is either sitting in your website, sitting in your videos, but simply put, I just want to know, why must I come and join your organization? What do you think are some of the things that millennials and Gen Z look for when it comes to employer value proposition? What are some of the things that millennials or Gen Zs look for when it comes to employer value proposition? Hint, they are not looking for a salary. They're taking it as given. Hint, they're not looking for a gym. Hint, they are not looking for medical aid. They're taking all of those as given. Aha, thank you, Anissa. Aligned values. I saw somebody saying something around, aha, oh, wow. Christian is by a vacker and more. What is it for me? Definitely. And that's strange for us. So Christian is saying, hey, Samkelo, they want to know what is it for me. Thank you, Christian. Kathy, different profiles, okay? Alignment to the values. What do you think millennials and Gen Zs are looking for? Yes, Anissa, study opportunities. What do you think they are looking for when it comes to employment? Life-work integration, or somebody said life-work balance. Nasima, that's quite interesting, Aaron, what you're saying, huh? Positive reinforcement. Nasima, would you like to come off mute and tell us what you mean by positive reinforcement? Sorry to put you on the spot. Nasima, Aaron, do you want to try? What do you mean that they're looking for positive reinforcement? Do you want to try and come off mute and share with us?
Sorry, it was Kensley on behalf of Nasima.
Are you guys sharing devices again?
Unfortunately,
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I think the world has changed. It's gone from a position of taking away privileges to enforce positive behavior to a more to an environment where the young people are looking to be praised for good work, and I think that is used as the method to ensure productivity is maintained at its highest level. Gone are the days of taking away somebody's commission to ensure that their productivity levels are raised. I think now it's more good job, well done, great stuff, and that reinforces the younger folks.
Yes, no, definitely. Thank you very much, spot on. Then the last question before we give over to Renee, how can we retain millennials and Gen Z? What are some of the practical things we can do to ensure retention of this talent, which is either 19 or 20 or 27 years old or even 34 years old? What are some of the practical things we can do to retain this talent? Just to warn you, by the way, this talent considers working for a year to be the highest they can do. After a year, they want to move on. So they don't think long term. They want to move on. And secondly, they were born on IT device, so they don't like to come to work in the office. And thirdly, they prefer to work in a project format. What are some of the things we can do practically to retain Gen Zs and millennials? Ah, yes, don't keep me in a box. I love that. Mentoring and remote working. Thank you, Beverly. You've said it very well. Working remote is very big on them, Bev. And allow, Jessica, tell us more. What do you mean by when you say allow them to have a voice? Would you like to go off mute and share that with us? You're saying allowing them to have a voice. What do you mean by that? Sorry to put you on the spot, Jessica. What do you mean when you say allow them to have a voice? Does that mean that we have to allow them to send us TikTok videos during working hours? What do you mean, Jessica?
Good morning. So what I mean by that is I believe that we need to remain impartial. We need to allow them to voice their opinion. And I mean, not necessarily tell us a story, but to just tell us how they are feeling, what they think we should give to them to help them grow and to allow them to stay within the company. So I think it's just all about, listening, giving them the space and just trying to remain as confidential and as impartial as possible to allow them to share what they want to share. And then after that, you give your opinion and you either add on to that or you just explain something more in detail. I hope I'm making sense.
No, you are. In fact, you are educating us and making us aware. Some of us who were born in the time of LP records. So you're just bringing us to reality that the world of work has changed. We even had things called CDs and MP3s. So you are giving us great insights. Thank you, Jessica. I'm going to give over to my colleague, my sister, my aunt, Kathy from Graduate Association. Your insights, Kathy, you work a lot with graduates, Kathy. I want to give you just if you come off mute, Kathy, and just share some of the insights you are seeing with graduates and the world of work. Over to you, Kathy. Then I'll give over to Renee. Kathy, you want to share some insights, some wisdom, what you're seeing as you work with graduates? If you are speaking, Kathy, you are officially or you're officially mute. I can't hear Kathy. Okay. Kathy, seems we can't hear you. If you're speaking, you are on mute. Oh, she's got sound challenges. Understood, Sissy. No problem. You can just put some of your comments in there. And I see you put a link in terms of graduate trends for 2023. Colleagues, thank you very much for your insights. Those of you who've just joined, we began by introducing ourselves and in terms of the companies that we work for and our roles. And then also Renee welcomed everyone who had joined the session. And then we just began speaking around what is employer value proposition. And then we went to what is it that Gen Zs and millennials look for in terms of work. Jessica was a star. Nasima, Aaron, or Kim, they also gave us insights in terms of what is positive reinforcement. Jessica Dola did amazing in terms of telling us what is it that when you say you have a voice, what does it mean in terms of listening, allowing one to have an opinion as well. So thank you for those of you who've just joined us late. I'm now going to give over to Renee, who's going to take us through the context and the history, who's Harambe, and show us the user practical experience of the SA Youth platform. Thanks, Renee. Over to you, Sissy.
Thanks so much, Samkelo, and again, welcome everybody. Thanks for having me. You were speaking about Gen Zs and millennials, and I recently came across this picture on LinkedIn. A young guy, lovely curly hair, wearing a hoodie with a placard saying that 90% of jobs can be taught. Just give people a freaking chance. And I think sometimes that's all young people need is a freaking chance, right? So hopefully after today, we'll be able to create some jobs via the SA Youth platform. But let me get into it. I'm sure many of you on the call have heard about Harambee, have heard about SA Youth, but I'll just go through a quick refresher just around exactly who we are and what we do. And yeah, just try and keep it as interactive as possible. So please do shout if you have any questions, and feel free to post in the chat. And Sam, I'm sure between you and Nasli, you let me know yeah, if there's anything that I need to answer. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to assume that everybody can see, because else somebody will let me know. So basically, Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator is a not-for-profit social enterprise, and we work with employer partners across all of the sectors: government, private sector, public sector, the social sector, etc., to unlock jobs and accelerate youth employment. And we've been around for the last 13 years, and yeah, worked with many partners across the board around creating jobs for young people. And obviously, post-COVID, our operation has pivoted. We're looking to scale. For those of you that have worked with us before COVID, you would know that we ran work readiness interventions to get young people ready for the world of work. We no longer facilitate that directly with young people, but we sort of partner with our employers and hand over the IP for that work readiness content as well, and you can then incorporate it into your training. We now use the SA Youth platform, which matches entry-level talent to your job requirements, and really, you know, SA Youth helps you discover talent anywhere in South Africa. It's an online platform that you're able to use on your own or with our support. And the recommendation engine matches young people based on their profile to the requirements of the job. So whatever requirements you're inserting, we'll match to try and get you a closely suitable match of young people, and you're able to then engage with them. So it's a really simple piece of technology that you're able to use to streamline your recruitment processes, and just have one sort of space to house that, if you will. Over the last few years, we've engaged with many employer partners, and we really do understand the challenges around, you know, entry-level recruitment. We understand that location may be challenging sometimes, getting young people to work, and we've learned a lot with the data that we've acquired. Right now, with the SA Youth platform, we've got around just over 4 million young people that are registered on the platform. And we use the tool to connect young people to learning and earning opportunities. And more recently, we've got a new sort of opportunity, which is called Make Your Own Money, MYOM. We know that there aren't a lot of jobs in the formal economy. And so there's a big drive around helping young people create their own businesses to create employment opportunities. And so that's a new piece that we've added as well. And I'll go through that in the demo. So SA Youth is 100% free. So there's no cost implications to you as an employer. There are no cost implications to the work seeker that is registering a profile. The platform is data free. And so they can just go on, register a profile, and then apply for job opportunities. From an employer partner perspective, also no recruitment costs involved, but we do need your feedback in terms of who's been hired. It's really important that we're able to demonstrate the impact of our work and learn as well. So your feedback around the use of the platform, any enhancements, is really, really crucial. For anybody that is engaged with us at the start of SA Youth and the implementation, and looking at it now, you'll see that there's so many changes for something as simple as document requests, you know, whereas previously young people couldn't upload their documents or CV for that matter, and now they can. And this is all based off of the feedback that we get from you as an employer. So really, the PYEI is the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention, and it's really a response to the challenge for youth unemployment, to businesses, to government, to civil society. And SA Youth is the tech platform that the PYEI supports, and this allows young people to access these learning and earning opportunities for free. Harambee, our organization, manages the SA Youth platform, and we work with all of these partners across the different sectors to help onboarding, help post jobs, and just streamline that recruitment process. So like I said, SA Youth has two platforms essentially. We've got the Work Seeker Access Point, which is sayouth.mobi. And it's data-free. Young people can register a profile. They are supported via our toll-free line, our Mobi site, our WhatsApp chatbot, email, social media, and that sort of thing. And then we've got the Employer Access Point, which is the SA Youth Partner Network. And again, it's an online self-service platform that we are, driving employers to use. But we do support you. So we've got a project team, if that's what you require, to help manage your recruitment process for you. From loading opportunity cards or job cards, to shortlisting, to inviting young people to your interviews as well. And then, of course, all we need is to understand how many young people you've hired into those opportunities. Just to give you a quick example of what the matching engine looks like. So I said that we use data points, the data points of young people to match them to the job requirements. So in this example, you'll see Mbali from Alexandra. Those are her profile points. She's 25 years old. She's a female, lives in Morningside, has matric, has completed a 3-month call center contract and volunteers in her community. And then we've got the job requirements example here. So when she logs into her Mobi profile, she'll see on her For You page all of the jobs that's been recommended to her, and she can apply for that. She's also able to search for jobs. So whether or not she meets the criteria, it's an inclusive platform. She can apply. She may just rank lower in the application list if she doesn't meet the criteria. So yeah, that's SA Youth in Harambee summarized in a nutshell. If anybody does want to book a separate session just to go talk a little bit in depth about it, we're absolutely able to do that. But yeah, that's the summary as of now. Just want to check if there's any questions in the chat. I'm not able to see. So please do keep them coming. Just in terms of the demo, I'm going to show you how to register your organization on SA Youth, and then I'll go into the actual demo. Sam?
Sorry, Renee.
Yes.
Just one. There was one request from Bev. I think it applies to other people. She wanted to know: will you be comfortable or able to share the slide deck with the attendees today?
Yes, absolutely. We can do that.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thanks for asking the question, Bev, and everyone else. As Renee has indicated, feel free to put your questions in the chat box. Renee would like to make this session as interactive as possible. Thank you. You can go ahead, Renee.
Please, I don't have such quirky comments as you have, so yeah, please, keep it coming. Cool. So we'll share the links as well with Sam, or we'll distribute the links to the SA Youth platform if you haven't yet registered. But essentially, when you click on the link to join the partner network, this is the screen that you'll see. You'll click join the partner network. And then, of course, the person that's registering the organization will need to include their personal details, so name, surname, business email address, like in this example here. You'll need to create a password, read and agree to the terms and conditions on the platform as well. You'll click create profile. And then, of course, you'd need to indicate what you're wanting to do on the SA Youth Network. So there's a bunch of options, but more often than not, it's finding work seekers for your opportunity, right? You're wanting to get entry-level talent. And so that's what you'll choose. And then you'd need to indicate what sector you're from. So again, there's a bunch of options that you can choose from. I'll use the private sector for this example. And then, of course, just completing your account by including your business name, registration number, the industry that you're in. There's another box that you'd need to complete that's not part of this demo. Basically, what that is, it's telling us if you belong to any industry bodies. And so there's a drop-down option there as well. So if you do belong to BPESA, if you are a BPESA member, please indicate that. It's really important from a papier perspective, because as SA Youth, we need to be able to report back to BPESA how many of their members are using SA Youth, how many vacancies are being posted, how many young people are being hired into jobs and that sort of thing. So it's really important that you do indicate BPESA as an industry body if you do belong to them. And then you'll create your account. Once you're done with that, you'll get an email to your inbox that looks something like this. You'll need to verify your email address. Our team will get a notification to say Partner X has registered a profile. They'll do their due diligence, make sure that it's a legitimate partner, make sure that you've got a social media presence, you've got a website, etc. There are lots of scams, you know, that people post on SA Youth, and so we are continuously monitoring that. So it's really important that they do their due diligence. Once that's completed, they'll send you a notification to say that your profile has been activated, and you can then log in and start navigating the SA Youth platform. Beverly, I see you've got your hand raised.
Yes, thanks, Renee. So I've worked with Harambee previously when I was working for a big insurer. I'm now an independent consultant. So obviously sometimes when I meet with my clients and one of the issues is recruitment, you know, I'd like to be able to refer them to SA Youth or to Harambee.
Yes.
So can I still register even though I'm not doing, well, I would be involved with the recruitment and assisting them. But I think my question really is, you know, I'm not an employer, but I do consult and give advice to clients, you know, where to go and the best practice.
Got you. I mean, there are a few options, and we can take it offline, but one, you can create your own profile and do it sort of on behalf of the partner or client that you're working with. Alternatively, you can be added as a user provided that they give you permission. So we can add you as a user to their profile if you want to do it for them. So there are a few options that we can consider when doing something like that, because we have many of those kinds of instances as well.
Okay, thanks, Renee.
Pleasure. Cool. So once you have registered and your account is active, you log into your profile and you'll always land on your home page. So if you look at the black left-hand pane here, you land on your home page and immediately you'll be able to see what your impact to youth unemployment in South Africa is. So this is a demo platform, UAT environment that I'm working in. If you're a new partner, your numbers at the top will be 0. But if you are an existing partner and you've got a profile on SA Youth, you can obviously just log in and see what your impact has been. So it gives you a quick view of how many opportunities you've created. And opportunities are essentially your job cards, how many vacancies you've posted, how many total applications you've received. And then, of course, finally, and the amount that we love seeing is how many young people you've recruited or placed into these roles. And then down here, you'll just sort of see a list of the jobs that you've created and posted, and you can manage your recruitment process from here. So I've already created a job card for the call center agent, and I'll go into that now and just take you through some of the features and the enhancements. But essentially, when you do click, or when you create a new job, you'll click Create Opportunity Advert, this big blue button here. And that's where you'll start to see what kind of job you can create, right? Or opportunity rather. So we've got a job vacancy, and this is really a job where a young person will earn a stipend or a salary. And then we've got the Grow Your Skills opportunity, and that is if your organization is offering a training or skilling program where at the end of it they'll receive a certificate but no actual money. And then we've got the Make Your Own Money opportunity. So these are things like your Avons, you know, just working for where you're basically your own boss and you're selling goods or services and you can make your own money. So either one of these is what you'll be able to choose. And then, of course, you'll be able to create your job card. So like I said, I've already created one for us, and I'll go through that now when my platform plays along with me. Just checking if there are any questions while we wait for that.
Sorry, Renee, we can only see the PowerPoint presentation, not the demo screen. We're still on page 29 of your presentation.
So you haven't, so when I took you through the registration, you haven't seen any of that?
No, we are still on the next step, sorry.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, sorry. Just give me a sec. Let me just change that. Sorry, so you missed the whole registration piece.
Yep, we missed it all. So we thought maybe it was our side.
Oh, sorry, man. Please do shout. Let me just do that again. Sorry, guys. So here we go. So like I said, we share the link. This is the screen that you'll land on. You'll click join the partner network, and whoever is registering the organization's profile, you'll include your first name and surname, your business email address, create your password, agree and read the terms and conditions, and then you can create your profile. You are seeing this screen, right? Just want to be sure.
Yep.
Yes, you can see the screen now.
Okay, awesome. Okay, then you'll obviously, like I said, you'll indicate what you're wanting to do, and it's finding work seekers for your opportunity. And then just what kind of partner you are. So which sector you're from, essentially, and there's a bunch of options that you can choose from. You'll indicate the private sector, and then you'll complete the registration of your account by providing your business.
Sorry, Renee, can you please go back to the one that says what sector are you at?
This one.
So yeah, so if you select other, what comes up? Do you have to provide more details?
Yes, you do. You do.
Okay.
So you'd need to say, so yeah, if it's not public sector, if it's not social sector or private sector, you can then indicate other.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Cool. Then of course, like I said, your business name, choose the industry that you're in. And then very importantly, like I mentioned, and hopefully you would have had a visual, but now you can see it, is that you'll need to, if you belong to any industry body, you'd need to indicate that on your profile as well. So it's not here, but there's a drop down of options that you can choose from. If you are a member of BPESA, you'd absolutely need to indicate that. And like I said, we need to be able to report back to BPESA around member activity, usage of the platform, how many young people are being recruited into the industry, etc. So that's really, really important that you do that. Once you create your account, you'll get an email that looks like this. Our team will get a notification to say Partner X has created a profile. They'll follow their due diligence process. Make sure that there's a website, social media presence, that it's a legitimate partner that'll produce and offer legitimate opportunities to young people, not asking for payment for a job, etc. And once that's created, they'll send you a notification to say that your profile is activated and you can then start navigating the platform. So that's what I was speaking to. And now you have a visual. Once you log onto your profile, you'll land on your homepage on this black screen or black pane on the left-hand side. And I just want to make sure that everybody can see the screen before I continue. Sam, Nestle?
Yes, we can see it on our side. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So like I said, when you land on your homepage, at the first glance, you'll see is what your impact is around youth unemployment. So you'll be able to see how many jobs you've created, how many vacancies you've offered, the total number of applications received, and of course, how many young people you recruited into the role. And then of course, just a list of all the jobs that you've created, on your profile. So when you create a job, you'll click create opportunity advert, and here is where you'll be able to select the kind of opportunity you are offering to young people on the platform. The job vacancy is where you'll, where young people will do a job and they'll get a salary or a stipend. Grow your skills or learning opportunity is where you're offering a training or skilling program and they'll get a certificate at the end of that particular program. And then of course, the make your own money opportunities like your Avons, like young people selling goods or services and making their own money. So you'll select either one of these. And once you've done that, you'll be able to indicate what kind of job or the requirements for the job that you're going to be loading. So like I said, I've created one already for a call center agent. So once you have created your job, you can just click on the drop down arrow and you can either duplicate it and change some details, or you can edit the card if you wish to do so. So I'm going to go into edit just to take you through what I've done. The job that you, or the opportunity that you create, the opportunity holder will always be the profile that you're working under. So if it's SA Youth, it'll say SA Youth. If it's BPESA, it'll say BPESA. If it's, BPO, it'll say BPO, etc. So it's the name of your organization. If there is a sponsoring partner that is sponsoring a particular recruitment project, you can indicate that here. I've just used BPESA to give you an example, but it could be Standard Bank, it could be Absa Bank, it could be the Coca-Cola Foundation, it could be the Jobs Fund, or whichever it is. If there isn't any, you can just leave it blank. And this is really just for us to, track and look at trend analysis and that sort of thing. If it is a youth employment services opportunity, so yes for youth, you'll then indicate that here. If it's not, you'll just say no. If it is a opportunity or a youth service program requiring funding from a sponsor like the Jobs Fund, etc., yes or no, you can indicate that. Then pretty simple from here on in. The opportunity title, call center agent, customer service representative, whatever it is what you'll include there. And then, of course, the industry. So there's a drop down of options again that you can choose from. And obviously ours is BPO. Then the opportunity description. And this is where you want to be really savvy. We are speaking about millennials and Gen Zs. So using a language that's descriptive, that's easy to understand, that's catchy. Young people don't like to read a lot, so it needs to appeal to them. So you can just do a quick blurb about the organization, what the role is, etc. And then, of course, just a role that you can choose from that matches the role that you're recruiting for. And again, this is really just for our recommendation engine. It really helps to identify suitable candidates for the position. So there's a drop down of options. So as an example, so it's a call center agent, they'll be doing call center work, but they could be doing data and analytics. They could be a team lead. There could be some other work that they're going to be doing in the call center. So it's important that you just associate the correct one or choose the correct sort of kind of work that they're going to be doing. Then you can tell us about the contract. So if it's fixed term, you'll need to indicate the contract duration. And then the same for permanent part-time. If it's full-time, you wouldn't need to do that because it's a full-time job. As you go along, you'll see these little tool tips here as well, just to explain what the different fields are. So a paid employment program, if you just hover over that question mark, it'll tell you what a paid employment program includes. So these are the EPWP or expanded public works programs in government, community work programs, etc. And that's just to help guide you along. You'll also see the number of jobs that you're recruiting for or vacancies that you have available. And again, another tool to be just to advise employers and say that a vacancy is an occupied position or a job that you want to fill. So the number of vacancies means the amount of unoccupied positions, because very often employers will either deflate that number or put it down as a lesser number. We want to know exactly how many people you want to recruit for. And this really has no bearing on the number of applications that you'll receive. Next is the closing date. So you can decide how long you want to keep this job card open for. If it's something that's urgent and you want to keep it open for 3 days, absolutely. Please also just understand that, young people need time to apply. They need some notice before being invited for an interview. So it's just important to keep that at the back of your mind as well. If it's a job where you're going to get loads of applications for, then absolutely keep it open for 3 days. But if you need to give people time to apply, if it's a more complex entry-level role, then perhaps leave it open for a little longer. You can track your applications and you can always come back and edit the closing date for that particular opportunity. Now, I spoke earlier about using data points to match young people. One of the data points that we use is the geographical location of a young person in relation to where the job is. So we don't want young people to be traveling to work for long periods of time or using lots of different modes of transport to get there. So it's important that they stay as closely as possible to the job. So you'd need to add an address. So you'll click add a new address and you'll then give the address a name. So it may be Cape Town Long Street. And then, of course, you'll enter your address, the contact details for that address. And this is just for back-end information, so nobody sees this on the front end. You'll click OK, and your address will pop up in your block here. So then as many addresses as you add is what will be in your address block. And you can just choose the appropriate one. So that's how you add your address. And then again, the recommendation engine will now use that address to match young people within a particular radius. The salary and benefits for the role, again, a whole bunch of radio button options. There's a base pay based on a fixed amount, hourly rate, commission. You can choose the appropriate one. There is also a button to not specify a salary. I always advise employers to specify a salary because young people want to know how much they're going to be earning. We have seen a slight increase in applications when there is a salary versus there not being one. So as far as possible, if you can, please do indicate what the salary is, how often it'll be paid, what the amount is, and then of course, if there are any additional benefits. So we spoke about, what's in it for me? Is there a pension fund? Is there medical aid? Is there a fun working environment? Is there a pool board? Whatever you think is appropriate, that is a benefit to young people, you can add there. Otherwise, just leave it blank if there isn't anything. Then you'd need to tell us if you're going to be managing applicants on SA Youth or redirecting it to your site. Now, the SA Youth platform is free for young people. It doesn't take any of their data. They log in, they see a job, they apply, done. If they are going to be redirected to your application site, there will be a pop-up block that comes up that says you are being redirected to Rene's healthcare recruitment site, and it's going to cost you data. So just keep that in mind. You are able to do it, but it'll cost young people data. And also we won't be able to track the applicants on our end then any longer. So we're going to be relying on you to let us know. So how many people did you get from SA Youth? Are you able to provide the feedback in terms of placements, etc.? So if you are able to manage them on SA Youth, it'll be absolutely great, because we can provide you with more data should you require it as well. The next piece is just around the requirements of the job. So what does an applicant need to apply for this opportunity? And here you can list all the requirements. So the age requirements, qualifications requirements, any experience, computer literacy skills, etc., is what you can list in the requirements block. And then just deep diving it into a little bit. So from an education perspective, do they need to have matric? There's also a button now for young people that doesn't need to have any specific qualification. So we're looking at, like, can they have grade 10? Can they have grade 11? It doesn't really matter. And then, of course, there's the diploma, the certificate, and another tooltip around here just to let you know what a certificate includes. What languages do they need to be able to speak? Can applicants that have a disability apply for this opportunity? If you say no, perfectly fine. If you say yes, you'll need to indicate what kind of disability the role and organization is able to accommodate. You'd also need to select that you'd want to see all work seekers, even those without disabilities. And again, here you can obviously choose if it's only a physical disability, visual impairment. You can select whatever is appropriate. I just want to say that the SA Youth platform, the Mobi platform for young people, is self-reported. So we rely on the data that young people input. So if they have a disability and they don't include that, we wouldn't know. And so the next part of this demo is showing you how to hone in on some of the features from a custom question perspective to make sure that you're not missing anything. So it may not be on their profile, but if you ask an additional question, you'll find that they're likely to say, yes, I actually do have a disability. So it's important to understand the functionality of the platform when using it. And similarly so with gender and race, it's an inclusive platform. So if you do select specifically African Black female applicants, colored males can also apply. They'll just rank lower in your application list when they do apply. The age criteria is between 18 and 34. And so those are the young people that the role or the position will be recommended to. But if I am 40 and I'm registered on SA Youth and I search for this job and it comes up and I want to apply, I can do that. Again, I'll just rank lower. You as the employer will have access to that information and you'll be able to see. And maybe you do want to hire Renee, who is 40 years old, into that particular role. You can absolutely do so as well. The next piece is around just asking a set of questions as part of the application process. So we've got a bank of preset questions that we sort of formulated at the onset of SA Youth, or at the inception. And these are questions around young people who live in communities that perhaps don't have any work experience. And it's really just trying to understand where they're at, what are they doing with their time. So the questions are centered around that. So we ask things like, do you have a phone that has access to the internet? When was the last time you used the device? What are the apps that you use? And they can select like WhatsApp, Google, etc. So there's a whole bunch of those kinds of questions. And you can go through it. If it's applicable to your job, absolutely ask some of them. Otherwise, just say no. We've got the custom questions, which I think is a really, really cool feature, because here you can sort of formulate your own questions. And how you do that is, and we've got a whole bunch of questions that we included. I selected for this role: have you been employed before? Do you have call center work experience? How many years experience in call center? But essentially, if you want to add a different question, you'll just click add a new custom question, and you can choose how you'd like the work seeker to answer. And we've got short text answer, paragraph text, and so those are free text, and they can type a response. And then we've got multiple choice, drop down, and yes, no. I think the multiple choice drop down and yes, no are really cool features, because you can ask the question and provide a list of possible responses. So if you're asking, how would you deal with an irate customer telephonically? One, I don't listen. Two, I speak back and I'm angry. Or three, I listen, I'm calm, I'm attentive, etc. And so they can choose either one. And so when you do your short listing and you filter, you know what you're looking for. So you're obviously going to look for work seekers that have answered. They'll be calm, they'll be attentive, they'll listen. So it's just a more streamlined way of doing it. And similarly so with drop down as well. So you'll just click multiple choice. You can indicate how many answers the work seeker can choose, if they can choose more than one. You type your question, and then of course your possible responses. So when they apply, they'll see the question and they'll need to answer that. So that's just some of the ways that you can use this custom question. And then also with the disability, you could ask, what kind of disability are you living with? You can leave it as a short text answer or paragraph text, and they can actually type in. Because often what we'll do is we'll ask, what kind of disability do you have? And we'll list physical, visual impairment, etc. And some employers want to know, well, what kind of physical disability do you have? So you can, sort of play around with the questions. And if anybody has answered physical, you can say, if you've answered physical, what kind of physical disability do you have, as an example? So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, please feel free to shout. Yeah, and then once you've selected or entered your custom questions, you can select which ones you want to ask, and then young people will need to answer that as part of the application process. We've also got the voice note piece. Yeah, somebody's unmuted.
Hi, good morning, Renee. Megan from Amplify 5. Sorry, you might have just missed my chat question. I just want to know, what is the limitation of the questions that we can pose?
So I think it's 10 at the moment. There may have been an increase, but I think it's 10 questions for the custom questions. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure. Then we have the voice note piece, and here again in this industry, the accent and spoken English ability is really important, and so you can ask young people to record a voice note in response to a question. So I've just said, or asked, tell us about a time when you had to overcome a challenge, but you can enter your own question, and they will need to respond by recording a voice note that you can then listen to on platform as well. And then the next piece is really not relevant just yet. So we are excluding the setting up of the interview during the opportunity card creation. So this is going to be a separate piece on platform that you can then use to set up interviews with the applicant, but it's no longer going to be part of the opportunity card. And that enhancement is coming in the next week. So it's not ready just yet, and it's not in my demo session, but it will be available on the live platform as well. So for now, you can just say no, because you will be able to do this separately. And then once you're done, you'll get sort of a preview of what the card looks like. You can have a read through it, make sure that you're happy, that it looks good, that you've included everything that you needed to include. And then, of course, you can just click, it'll say create opportunity and not update. It says update on my side because I've already done that. But on your side, when you do it, it'll say create opportunity. And once you do that, it goes live on the SA Youth platform. And it's on Mobi. And young people now have a view of it and will be recommended the job via the recommendation engine. Yeah, I'm going to stop there before I go into before I go to the applicant list and show you what that looks like. I just want to check if there are any questions. I don't have access to the chat right now while I'm sharing. So yeah, maybe just shout. Okay, I'm going to take it as a no, and I can carry on. So once you've done that, you'll be able to see sort of how many young people have started applying to your job. So there's 4 applicants here. You'll click on Manage Applicants to access that information. And you can see that your applicants are ranked and sorted according to your advert requirements. So we had 4 people apply that meets all of the requirements. If you want to look at their profile as a quick view, you'll click on See More. And here you can see the applicant answers to your questions. Have you been employed before? Not applicable. Do you have call center work experience? Not applicable. How many years experience? Not applicable. So she meets the criteria because she's probably within the age range and she's within the distance range. If we look at Mark Smith, Mark Smith said he has been employed before. He has call center work experience and 6 months. So you can also look at the applicant profile. And where you see these green ticks, this is where they meet the criteria. So he has visual impairment. He's male, he's 27. He speaks Afrikaans as well. You can see his contact details. You'll be able to see his education, English marks, maths mark, etc. Now, this is all at a quick view. If you want to see additional data points, you'll just highlight or click on the box to highlight all of the names, and you'll click Download Applicant List. And this will be exported into Excel. And you're then able to see just more data on the applicants as well. You can use the shortlisting function to shortlist young people. So let's say you want to meet Carla, you want to meet Mark, and you want to meet Karabo. If you highlight these hearts, they'll be moved over to your shortlist tab, and you can start working from here just to sort of streamline the process, because your applicant list will continue to grow as young people apply for jobs. And if you want to filter, so let's say you've got like thousands of applicants, you'll just click on this filter applicant button here, and you will maybe look at work seekers that meets only all of your criteria. You can select that. You can look at a range from a distance perspective. So maybe you only want to look at young people that meets all of your requirements that's within a 40-kilometer radius. And maybe you want to look at the custom question where they said, yes, they have been employed before, as an example. And so then you can apply your filter, and from the, let's say, 1,000, or from the 4 applicants here, only 1 meets your, your requirements, and you can work from there as well. So that's how you can filter. And then, of course, you can also listen to the voice notes if they've not recorded any voice note. And so there is an option for them not to record it. Perhaps they're in a noisy place, they're going to record it at a later stage. They can absolutely do that as well. Yeah, and then the other thing is, I just want to show you when it comes to the document request. So let's say you want to ask Carla for her ID, matric certificate, and her CV. You can request documents. So you'll click Request Documents. You'll indicate what you want. So ID, matric certificate, and CV. You'll send a document request. She'll get a notification on her end that partner X wants to see her documents. She'll upload it. And once she's done that, you'll come back here and you can see what she's uploaded, and you can actually download those documents as well. You can also send an SMS. If you just click on the box next to her name, you can click Send SMS, and you can say, hey, you've been shortlisted for the role. Thank you for your documents. Can you come for an interview on Friday at 9 a.m. at this address, etc. So you can do that also. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the last part that I do want to show you is just how to indicate the hire. So you've seen Carla, you've seen Mark, you've seen Karabo, you love them all, you want to employ them, you want to add them as a recruit. What you'll do is sorry, let me just go back. So you'll click Add Recruits. You'll then indicate when the start date is. And so let's say the start date is going to be the 1st of or the 3rd of June. You'll save and add recruits. It'll bring you to this sort of screen. You'll click Add from Applicants. And here you can then select Carla, Mark. Maybe you haven't seen Thabo, but you've met him and you like him and you want to include him in this count as well. You can absolutely do that. You'll click Add Recruits. You'll click Save and Submit. you'll get a pop-up block to ask if you want to decline the rest of the applicants. You can do that if you're 100% sure. Otherwise, just say no, just submit the recruits. And then, of course, it'll show you that you've hired 2 people for that particular role. So that's sort of at the end of it, and it'll say here 2 recruitments as well. So I'm going to stop there and just, check if there are any questions. What do you all think about it? It sounds like a lot, but it's super simple. And like I said, if you need a more in-depth session, if you need some help, we can absolutely support you with that as well.
Thank you very much, Renee. Would like to give this opportunity for anyone who has any questions or would like to go back to a particular part of the system or seeking clarity. Over to you. You can just go off mute and just ask your question, please.
Hi, it's Leanne here. I just want to find out, would we be able to also get the contact number of the people we would want to set up interviews with? And because sometimes I feel calling people is a lot better than maybe sending SMSs from the system. Is that?
Yes, absolutely. So if you go to your applicant list or manage applicants, if you click on see more, just as a quick view, if you go to the applicant profile, you'll see contact details here. So contact, WhatsApp, email,
Thank you.
So that's where you'll find it. And like I said, you can download the applicant list as well, and it'll be on your Excel spreadsheet. But just as a quick one, you go to the applicant profile and you'll see contact details.
Thanks, Leanne. Any other questions, clarity, or a part that you'd like to go back?
Maybe just something I can show you that's also.
So I've got a question from Jenna. Does the system, sorry, Renee, does the system have integration options such as video interviews or psychometric assessment so that the data will also be visible on the candidate card? That's a very good question, Jenna. So she wants to know, can we integrate video or assessments in the system?
Not yet. I'm going to say not yet because it's coming. Not the video piece just yet. I think the video piece is very far down our product wish list. But from an assessment perspective, our team is working on behavioral assessments, psychometric assessments, numeracy, literacy, etc. And that will be incorporated into the young person's profile. So the idea is that they complete it. You'll be able to see, as an example, what my problem solving skills are, what kind of problem solver I am, and others as well. So it is coming. It's just not available just yet. Our team is working on that.
Thank you.
Cool. Just from a qualification perspective as well, when you are filtering, we've added an additional piece. So previously we just had high school qualification. So your qualification level 9, 10, 11, 12. But now we've got the additional qualification. So you can select, as an example, maybe you want to see who of the applicants has a bachelor's degree in, let's call it NQ7, in the field of study for, I don't know, let's say auditing as an example. So whichever you want to select, you can actually select that and apply the filter and see of the applicants that have applied, how many has that, if that's going to help you with your shortlisting as well. So that's something new. The custom question is also something fairly new.
Renee, we've got another question following on the back of that question from Jenna to ask, will those assessments also be 0 rated?
Well, that's part of what the product team is discussing, right? We want to ensure, so with any enhancement or suggestion that we get, feedback that we get from our partners, we always want to make sure that it's going to service the young person. So yes, as far as possible, that's what we want to do. And that's why some enhancements takes long, because we know young people don't have data. So we're always thinking about ways to make sure that they can access those assessments where it doesn't cost them anything. So at the moment, I'm not sure what it's going to look like, how they're going to offer it, how they're going to make it accessible to young people. So I can't say, but that is the plan. It's always a consideration that we need to take care of.
Thank you. Any other questions or clarity? Giving you a chance.
I
And
think,
Renee, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think what's really cool about the platform is that it's an alternative sourcing platform. It's not saying it needs to replace anything else. I think it's a win-win. It's a different pool of talent. It's free. And it makes an impact. I mean, a job for one young person impacts the lives of 6 or 7 other family members that they live with. So yeah, it's important.
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
it's not
please.
it's not related to the system. I think you've got a really good system here, though, working as a recruiter for a few years and having dealt with a lot of different platforms. I think it's a very good one. Number one. And number two, are we allowed to sorry, I'm a millennial, so I'm asking what's in it for me.
Yeah.
It's just, additionally to like giving young people jobs and all of that. But are we allowed to advertise on our social media and different platforms that you are a partner with us and that this is a priority for us? Are we allowed to use any of that sort of communication?
Yes, absolutely. So very often some of our employer partners will, advertise the SA Youth logo as an example on their social media platforms, on their website, etc. Yes, you absolutely can. Also, if you are going to be using the platform for an opportunity as an example, if you click on the drop-down arrow over here, every opportunity has its own unique URL link. So if you just click on copy opportunity URL and you share that link in your community, whether it's your own opportunity or somebody else's, you can absolutely share that. And that opportunity, when they click on that link, will take them directly to the Mobi platform where they can then apply for that job. So this is the view of it. So this is the job that I've just created. This is the Mobi view, and this is the view that the young person will have. So they'll be able to see all of the details as you input it. And they can then either log in if they have an SA Youth profile and apply for the job, or join the network. They'll register a profile. It'll take them to the application page automatically, and they can apply, and they'll then be in that applicant list. So yes, you can do SA Youth Mobi, the SA Youth logo, or you can, if there's a particular opportunity that you want to apply, you can share the link as well. So yes, you can.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, that was also another very good question. Renee, when I decline an applicant, is there a standard message that goes to that applicant, or how does it work? Let's say, thank you for your application. You did not meet this, so will not be taking your qualifications, this process forward. How does the decline process work?
Yes, it'll just be a message to the young person to say that you have not, that you haven't been successful for that particular opportunity. With all of the applications that an employer gets, I mean, we see it all the time. It's very difficult to, to send an individual message or that sort of thing. So often there'll be a disclaimer in the opportunity description as well that says, if you haven't heard back from us within 2 weeks of your application, etc., consider your application unsuccessful. So very often there's that disclaimer as well. But then also employers don't always regret, because sometimes they come back to that applicant list to re-look at it. Or maybe there's somebody that, maybe doesn't meet the criteria for a call center agent as an example, but maybe they feel like you're a better fit for a team leader or a data analyst or something, and they may employ the person in that particular role. So, but to answer the question, sorry, I'm long-winded. Yes, there is a message that goes out if you do decline them. Okay, and then are we able to see, even if it's 2 years backward, what are some of the opportunities that people were able to find employment? Will those be mostly call center roles, customer service? Do we have any way in the system where you can see where people, even if it's 2 years backwards, just to see where people have been getting opportunities, or young people have been getting opportunities? SA Youth as a whole? Yeah, as a whole, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's across the board. Okay. Yeah, we can, but yeah. Okay, and that's fine. Are there any other
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Renee, just one more question. Can we customize the feedback to the candidate?
If you send an SMS, then you can, yes. So if you saw that pop-up block that came to ask you if you want to regret the balance of the candidates, that's sort of just standard. But if you want to sort of, that's automated. But if you want to customize it, you can send an SMS to the applicant. So it's again just as simple as going into the applicant list under manage applicants. Let's say who did I hire? Tabo. So you want to send him an SMS, you can do that via that
Awesome.
method, yeah.
Thank you so much.
If I'm sitting in this session and I've learned a lot and I would like to have a similar session like this, but for my team, my talent acquisition or recruitment team, would you offer something like that for Newton or anyone who's sitting over and to say, hey, there are about 4 or 5 of us who work in the recruitment talent acquisition space who would like to have our own in-house where you take us through that? Is that something that you do? And is that, to use Janelle's famous word, is that as 0 rated, or is there a fee, or must we register with the IEC before you come and do that for us?
Yeah, no, we can. Absolutely. Yeah, we can take your team through that, no problem. Still won't charge you anything. There are no fees, no costs involved.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, we just need the feedback in terms of who's been hired. It's really important that happens.
Okay. Just want to open some space to other people, anyone else who's got questions or needs clarity on the system. I don't see any questions. Thank you very much, Renee. How do they get your details? Are they sitting on the billboard on the N1 past Allendale, or are they sitting somewhere on the M3 close to Cavendish Square?
Not yet, Sam, not yet, but I'll post it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if somebody wants to reach out via email to say, hey, I enjoyed the session. I would love you to come and present it to our head of talent or to our HR manager. Also, I like what you said, and where you said this is not, you can use this together with other methods of recruitment as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, Renee, and for that detailed explanation. Want to give over this time now to anyone who's got any other HR related question. It might not necessarily be to do with SA Youth Platform, inclusive hiring. Just the last 5 minutes. Is there anyone who's got a burning human resources question that pertains to the sector or to BPESA? Paul from logistics, anyone else? There's a question that you've been dying to ask. Just a heads up, we're not able to guide you on which political party you must vote for on the 29th. So we won't be able to answer that question. Anyone who's got a question? Human resources question?
I see Jessica's hand is up.
Okay, Jessica, you did say you're a millennial, so you can ask the question, or if you want, you can just send us a TikTok video about the question. Over to you, Jessica.
So Sam, I actually think I'm more of a Gen Z than a millennial.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But I wanted to just ask, I know that you said that it doesn't have to be SA youth related, but I do want to just ask, we are currently like in the process of growing our company here at ETA Path. And I mean, we are also part of a BPESA member. But the positions that we are looking for, they are a bit more mid to senior level, but I know that SA Youth is focused more around the entry level positions, etc. Would it still be okay if we give it a shot to maybe apply our positions onto SA Youth to see if there's maybe someone we can hire or pull from that side of the world?
My answer is yes, absolutely. Go ahead and do that because we've got lots of talent. So yes, there is a focus around youth and entry-level talent, but there are so many young people that are qualified, that has some experience, because you must remember we've been around for the last 13 years. And so we've got young people who've been registered for the last 13 years who may have started out with no work experience, have gone on to gain work experience, get a qualification, etc. So yes, absolutely.
All right, perfect. It's just that also because sorry, we have been looking like on other websites as well, and we are looking to get some interns, but as well, like I said as well, mid to senior level people. So I'll definitely just speak with my team and then see if we can actually move forward with this SA Youth Program to start pulling applicants from that side. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
Renee,
Perfect.
I have a question. So let's say as you described now, there's some graduates that have built some experience or whatever. Would they, and let's say we, or Jessica now puts an ad out, will that go to your database and alert them that there's now such a position available? I'm just trying to understand, maybe they've kind of half given up and they've stopped looking on the website. So is there a trigger for them?
So what happens is, so there isn't, and this is, that's a good question, because this is something that we've asked our product team to consider just in terms of a trigger. But what happens is we encourage all young people or everybody that's registered on SA Youth to go onto their profile like regularly to check, right? And check what's been recommended on their For You page. So if they meet the criteria and they are recommended for that job, it'll be on their For You page. So they are looking at an automation where, I get a trigger to say, hey, there's this new job on SA Youth kind of thing. So that is in process. There's such a lot that the product team has to consider and implement, etc. But essentially, they need to go onto their profile to see what jobs are available and has been recommended to them. Also, when you create that opportunity card, like I showed you, there's that unique URL link that you can share within your network as well. And we often share these jobs on social media. We share it on our radio interviews regularly every week as well. But yeah, that's what they need to do.
Okay, and then just a last comment. I know that with working with youth, they become quite despondent when they don't get, even if it is an automated response. So, this is just a comment to all my colleagues in the room, rather set up an automated response. There's nothing worse for them, let's call it, to be ghosted, that they can in. And the thing is, we want to build their confidence. So even though they're not right for this position, we don't want to put them off, trying and having hope to apply. So sorry, I'm quite passionate about that. So I'm just making a comment, Sam.
I agree with you, Beverly. They love feedback. Young people want to know, what do I need to do better to become better, to interview better, to land that job? So feedback is a gift. And it's really important that we give it to them, because, sometimes young people will apply for a job that they're absolutely not suited to. And it's important that we tell them how to become suitable for that job if that's what they want. So I agree with you 100%.
Thank you very much, Bev. And I think you are so spot on the importance of giving feedback in terms of their confidence. So thank you just for reminding us. Kathy, yes, you are agreeing with this. Carl, you've got a question. Would you mind just unpacking that question, Carl? We don't want to answer what you did not ask. Do you mind, sir?
No problem. My question is around like new companies coming into the sector, like myself. I'm sure there's lots of lessons that the experienced companies have learned around, when we're hiring, what should we be looking for, like prerequisites when it comes to things like character, emotional intelligence and things like that. Has anyone maybe compiled a list of prerequisites that we can look at for when we hire in this to employ in the sector where it will be beneficial to all of us? Yeah, I'm not sure if I was clear there.
Okay, Renee, do you want to try? Renee?
Sorry, yeah. So, I mean, so if you're registering on the SA Youth Platform call, it's so our team, like I said, they'll do their due diligence in the back end, right? Check on CIPC, look at your registration number, make sure that you're legitimate, etc. Once all of that, and it's very simple checks that they look at. So, I mean, if you have all of that in order, absolutely no problem for you to register on the platform. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
I think what you're asking for, Carl, is almost like not a job description, but some behaviors and attributes that's
Beverly,
important.
Beverly, I think there is a document on our website where we look at the competencies
Okay,
of
awesome.
your call center
Awesome.
agent, your team leader, your workforce manager. So are you looking at the different competencies? Which we can share if you, is this for Carl? Carl, if you can just drop us an email at info@, I'll be able to share the document. But there is a link on the website. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dad. That's the answer I was looking for.
Thank you. Any other questions, colleagues, related to SA Youth Platform or BPESA HR? We really want to maximize this opportunity. We've got about 4 minutes, and then we're going to close this session. Any questions for Renee, HR related? And Naz did indicate that any other thing, you can also email info@BPESA. We do monitor that email. We'll be able to answer any questions that that you might have. I don't see any hands up. I don't see any questions coming up. This has been a very good session. Thank you for those of you who stayed, for those of you who engaged. I'm aware that some of you, because you like to multitask, while you were on the session, you did some emails, you work on spreadsheets because you wanted to do multiple things at once. You are forgiven. We've just come out of Easter's, so don't worry, you are forgiven for trying to multitask. Renee has put her contact details in there. Please feel free to revert to her when it comes to SA Youth Platform, getting talents and also getting CVs. And thank you very much for joining. We will put the next date in the BPESA website for the HR forum, but it won't be something to do with SA Youth Platform. Be something linked either to talent, organizational culture, or something else. BPESA has got your hand raised. Please go ahead.
Hi, sorry. I just wanted to say that if any of our members online now, if you still don't have a MyGlue account, which is connected to our stakeholder engagement platform, it might help to actually just register on the system. You can go onto our website, click on the member login on the top right-hand corner of our website. If you don't have an account, register for the account, because that enables you to get the latest notifications. You can do a quick register for our events, and you'll generally get a push notification if you have the app to see when is the next event. So please do go to our website and do the member login if you are a registered and paid up member of BPESA. It's quite an amazing app where we actually have our own LinkedIn community within the app, and you're able to share knowledge, get knowledge, engage, connect with people. We don't poke people on the platform, but yes, you can connect with people. So again, if you need more info on the Glue Up, MyGlue system, send it to info@, and we'll gladly show you how to navigate your way through the system. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Naz. Special thanks to Renee, getting practical facilitation skills, explaining. You've provided so much information, and I think all of us, we've learned a lot. I'm looking forward to see many people logging in to look for candidates, to place opportunities. And Renee, as you said, we want to create employment opportunities for all of the young people. And I like what Beverly reminded us, the importance of giving feedback in terms of what has happened with my application. Friends, colleagues, associates, brothers and sisters, fellow South Africans, sons and daughters of the soil, thank you very much for joining the session. Please do enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you very much. Keep well. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, Sam. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.